Welcome, everybody. I'm Fabrício Costa from Australia. It's a pleasure to be here. And I have my colleague, Conrado Coutinho from Brazil. 17th of November is the prematurity day. And to celebrate that, we have the expert questions. And we are the authors of the latest ISUOG guideline about the role of ultrasound in preterm birth. Certainly, preterm birth is a major issue in obstetrics. We have over 15 million of preterm births below 37 weeks per year. And this is the main cause of neonatal mortality and morbidity. But we can predict a high-risk population for preterm birth, and I'd like to ask you that, Conrado, how you can screen a general population for preterm birth.
So, hi Fabrício and everyone. Thank you very much for this invitation to be here. And what we have been doing in the last decades is to base our screening for preterm birth on clinical history and physical examination. And this is really important to try to find risk factors for the general population and to try to tackle these specific risk factors such as infections and the modifiable ones, quitting smoking and things like this. And we are basing also our screening on the physical examination, on digital vaginal examination. But we haven't been very successful in reducing rates of preterm birth. What we know nowadays is that ultrasound is an important tool to identify high-risk patients in the general population, because the effacement and the dilation of the cervix starts from the internal os to the external os. And this is not very easy to identify using your digital examination. So what we're proposing nowadays is that every patient should have a transvaginal ultrasound to measure the cervical length between 18 and 24 weeks, together with the anatomical scan examination. And if we observe a cervical length below 25 millimeters, we should consider this patient at high risk for preterm birth. And now I would like to question Professor Fabrício, what should we do if we identify in the general population this patient with a short cervix?
This is so important, and fortunately, it's possible to prevent around 1/3 of preterm births below 34 weeks if someone has a cervix equal or less than 25 millimeters. And the first line of treatment for this prevention is vaginal progesterone from the time of the diagnosis up to 36 weeks. So important as well if someone has a short cervix, if you do cervical surveillance up to 24 weeks. Some patients, they are not responsive to progesterone, and the cervix is shortening. If the cervix becomes below 10 millimeters, cerclage could be a good option for these patients as well, combined with progesterone.